No South Bend school has the athletic legacy of South Bend Central. John Wooden started his legendary coaching career there, and under Elmer McCall, the Bears became a dominant force, winning state titles in 53 and 57.
Harley shoots. A tense moment. No good. The game is history. Final score 42-41. South Bend wins their first state basketball championship.
Athletes like Mike Warren and Jimmy Ward kept the Bears a powerhouse until the downtown school closed in 1970. Tonight, the city pays tribute to that great history in another one of South Bend's legendary prep venues. Adams Hadaway Shack is the site as the players of today pay tribute to the stars of yesteryear, next on 46. South Bend's oldest active high school gym was the home of the South Bend Central Bears from 1940 to 1960. And tonight, it's the home of the area's oldest rivalry as Adams and Riley get together for the 140th time and what should be a very special 46 game of the week. And how you doing, everybody? Between the longtime Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, I guess I'm the rookie, Chuck Freeby. It's great to be inducted into the Indiana Sports Writers and Sportscasters Association Hall of Fame, and I want to thank all of you for your kind comments as well. But, you know, I understand that's not why you tuned in, see any kind of tribute to me. You tuned in to see a tribute to the South Bend Central Bears, and we've got two teams very capable of doing it, Bob Nagel. In fact, I think the Bears would be very proud of this Riley Wildcat team coming in here with a record of 16-4. And if things fall right, a chance to win the Northern Indiana Conference Championship tonight.
It's a very special night for so many reasons. The kids are wearing the Central uniforms for the cheerleaders for both schools. They're wearing throwback uniforms. And you learn so much talking to these people and about their enthusiasm about tonight's game. And people reminding me tonight that Jimmy Webb was at South Bend Central before he transferred to Adams when Central closed. And he's, of course, the legend here at Adams High School. But the team here tonight, we're talking about Riley Wildcats, first of all, a veteran team. They have had a great run. You think about what they've done in the last 5 or 6 years, really impressive, especially with 3 coaching changes over the last 3 years. Now, they got a team this year that's got some good leadership. They've got some size inside, three-point shooting outside, and I just can't say enough about the job that they've done, the coaching staff, getting them ready to go this year.
But Riley did lose to Adams back in December by a count of 76-70. Adams with a pair of very good senior leaders in Shaq Johnson and Ben Foster, but it's a team primarily comprised of sophomores, and it reminds me a lot of what Riley looked like a couple of years ago.
Very young team, but very talented team. And talking to Chad Johnson, I said, are your sophomores starting to play like juniors? He said, oh, they have to. And they've really started to step up. The juniors playing like seniors. It is a young team, but very quick. Play defense, they can box out. They're going to have to do that tonight. Ben Foster, a very special player, leads them in scoring. Last night, they had a nice win over Bremen, and 5 players in double figures, Chuck. So very unselfish team. They know how to play basketball.
Bo Hunt will be working the sidelines again tonight. And Bo, this is a very unique circumstance tonight. Riley wearing the road uniforms of South Bend Central. Adams wearing the home uniforms. The cheerleaders all decked out in South Bend Central. And it's clear how much the tradition of that school means to the city.
Oh, it is. It's just such a great atmosphere. Nice banquet before the game here tonight. They're starting to roll in from that banquet. We weren't sure what type of crowd we were going to get tonight, but they're definitely starting to roll in. This atmosphere, this is what Indiana high school basketball is all about on a Friday night. Get out here, back your fellow student athletes, your cheerleaders, everything. Just such a class act that they put on here in South Bend.
Well, we hope you'll bear with us tonight as Riley and Adams get ready to meet for the 140th time. We've got the Jordan Automotive Keys to win next on the 46 Game of the Week.
This is the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week, brought to you by Thor Industries, Teachers Credit Union, Bill's Heating, Jordan Automotive Group, IU South Bend, Electrical Workers Local 153, Crown Trophy, Imagineering Finishing Technologies, and the IHSAA.
This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by the Jordan Auto Group. It's simple, easy, and stress-free. Welcome, everybody, to the South Bend Bears Lacrosse Club pregame show as we get you ready for Riley and Adams tonight inside Hadaway's Shack. Time now to look at our Jordan Automotive keys to win for tonight's game, and we'll start with the blue-clad Riley Wildcats, who come in with a record of 16-4. They're led by their point guard, Jalen Jennings. The 5'8 senior really put on a show the last time he was on TV 46 and was our player of the game, and they're knocking off #1 Marion. Jennings is averaging 14 points a game, but he also has 98 assists and just 35 turnovers for the year. And then when they want inside points, they go to Gabe Johnson, the 6'4 senior headed to Bethel College next year, averaging 13.5 points and 4 rebounds a game. But he had a goose egg the first time that these two teams played as he was banged up entering the game. The keys to win for Jared Drake's Cats.
Riley will need all their players to play good defense tonight, including Gabe Johnson. They've got to defend all 5 from Adams because they can all score in double figures on a given night. They got to be ready to play 32 full minutes, and this place will be wild, and they've got to represent the Bend. The Riley Wildcats, 16-4 in their first season under head coach Jared Drake, who has his thoughts on tonight's matchup.
They've improved quite a lot. Every night we go home and we learn a lot from the game, from film, from study hall, from everything that we do daily. So each day we come in with a new territory to conquer. And each day I'm proud of the journey that we've overcome.
Meanwhile, as the Adams Eagles get ready, their cheerleaders dressed in the orange of South Bend Central tonight. The Eagles will be dressed in white, and they'll be led by Shaq Johnson, who is their leading scorer on the year. The powerful 6'1 senior is almost averaging a double-double, 16 points and 9 rebounds a game. A terrific offensive rebounder. And then when they need outside scoring, they look for another senior, Ben Foster, 6'1 guard, averaging 12 points and 4 rebounds a game. He can light it up. He had 33 in their win over Plymouth, and he came off the bench with 18 on Tuesday night against Bremen. The keys for Chad Johnston's Eagles.
Well, Chuck, you talked about the 2 seniors. They got a lot of young guys, and they got to be careful not to have the unforced turnovers. They can't give the game away to Riley. Can't let the size matter on the glass either. Got to get there by position. And then the transition defense is going to be good. These are going to get up and down the floor tonight. Both these teams want to, but Adams has to get down the floor and get in front of the drivers to keep them from getting to the basket. Chad Johnson, a veteran, he's got time in there. We played at Clay, coached at Washington, coaching at Adams now. He's in his 17th season as a head coach. And I tell you what, a lot of respect for the team he's playing tonight in Riley.
It's good points. We definitely have to do little things like blocking out. Obviously, a lot of teams we play, they're a lot taller than we are, so you have to do little things to make the big things happen. And that's really important tonight and going into the tournament in a couple of weeks. So I think the kids have really, the sophomores, our younger kids, have really caught on to the intensity of the game. Kind of happened after Christmas a little bit, but they're learning, they're getting better, which it's a positive sign.
Before the warm-ups, the teams got together for a little photo shoot. This is a special night for the South Bend Central Bears. Riley and Adams will pay tribute to them tonight. Our pregame show has been brought to you by the South Bend Bears Lacrosse Club. The tip-off is next on 46. And this edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by Thor Industries, the world's largest RV manufacturer. They're getting ready to introduce the Gurley Leap starting lineups, and here's Bob Nagel.
For the Riley Wildcats, and again, you're going to see some different numbers tonight, but Jalen Jennings usually wears number 11. If you can read it while he's dribbling, he's pretty quick out there. He's wearing 30 tonight. He's a 5'9 senior, great leader on his team. Also in that starting lineup at a guard is Gabe Johnson, a 6'4 senior. He's headed out to Bethel College. They will also have Dejan Barney in the starting lineup, a 6'6 sophomore. Trevor Fortune's in the lineup. He's a 5'7 senior. And Blake Wesley is a 6'2 sophomore, the youngster in that starting group along with Barney. And that's the starting lineup for your South Bend Riley Wildcats. For the South Bend John Adams Eagles, I'll be introducing that group to you here in just a moment. They'll start off with Ben Foster. Ben Foster is a 6'1 senior, their leading scorer coming into the ball game. Lynn King is also starting for Adams. He's a 6'2 sophomore. Quintez Columbus, the 5'11 sophomore, will start. He wears number 35. Number 42, Sidney Jeffries, the 6'1 sophomore. And Shaq Johnson wears number 44 tonight. He's the 6'1 senior. So 2 seniors in the lineup for Adams, 3 seniors in the lineup for Riley. And the experience could be a big difference for Riley. But again, Chuck, you think back to when Adams beat them at Riley, what a big win that was for the Adams Eagles.
Well, and that was the last time these two teams played in this series history that dates all the way back to 1940. Adams leads the series by a relatively slim margin, considering it's 140 games, 72-67. And for the second straight week, partner, we do a series that is playing its 140th game. We had Warsaw Plymouth last week. We have Adams and Riley tonight. You see the cheerleaders decked out in the orange and blue of the South Bend Central Bears. And these two teams wearing the Bears uniforms, Adams in the home whites, Riley in the road blues.
I can remember when South Bend Central closed, they moved most of the student body out to LaSalle High School. Some, as I said, went to Adams. But that great tradition of South Bend Central being honored here tonight, we're proud to be a part of it, and we're proud to be working with our latest Hall of Famer, Chuck Freeby, who's going to call tonight's action. Here we go with the opening tip. Chuck?
And our first quarter tonight brought by the South Bend Alumni Association. Riley, as we mentioned, in the road blues, comes in with a record of 16-4. They knocked off number 1 Marion earlier this year on 46. Jalen Jennings bodied up and out of bounds by Quintez Columbus. And Columbus called for the first foul of the contest.
He's not the gem of the ocean, but he is a gem on that front line. And Columbus with the first foul whistle here in the ballgame.
Gabe Johnson in the corner. Goes outside. And that is Jack Boy Johnson Cole, a late addition to the starting lineup. His shot blocked out of bounds by Sidney Jeffries. And Riley will retain possession. You get another look on our 46 replay as Jeffries came over and helped protect the baseline.
Riley looking at that Adams defense like they're not sure exactly what they're seeing or if it's what they expected.
Jennings, the state's second best three-point shooter, misses that time. And the rebound comes to Chuck Worsham, a late addition to the Adams starting lineup. So Worsham getting the start in place of Ben Foster, who will come off the bench as he did on Tuesday night. Adams comes in with a record of 10-11, but they've only had one loss to a team with a losing record. That's Michigan City. And as we mentioned, their best win came against these Riley Wildcats back in December. Worsham, the sophomore point guard, handles up top. And now here's Quintez Columbus. Columbus, who leads the team in assists. Worsham down the lane, kicks it outside. Lynn King thought about the 3, instead powers up the 2. So King, who's been coming on strong as of late, he only averages 4.5 points a game, but he was in double figures Tuesday night at Bremen, gets the first basket of the contest.
Bears on top 2-0. Oh, wait a minute. They're both Bears tonight.
Johnson for 3, hits from the outside. Jacoy Johnson-Cole was only 1 out of 7 from three-point range for the season before that shot, but he gives Riley the lead at 3-2. In the corner, King. Outside, that's Columbus with Jennings on him.
Love the patience we're seeing here, Chuck. Both teams love to get up and down the floor, but want to get quality shots.
Outside, King for 3. They iron unkind. The rebound out of bounds off of Jennings. It'll be Adams basketball. Oh, no, check that. It's off of Adams. It'll be Riley basketball.
King's a good-sized fella. That was a pretty good-looking shot from the outside.
He's only a 25% three-point shooter. That's been a problem for Adams this year. They're only a 26% three-point shooting team. Meanwhile, Johnson feeling it from outside the arc, but couldn't hit. Jennings, a big offensive rebound. Johnson inside the arc, misses, and the rebound is Sidney Jeffries, and Adams wants to run. Jeffries goes all the way down. Shaq Johnson for 2. Johnson, the powerfully built 6'1 senior who had a double-double against both Mishawaka and Washington this year, puts Adams back in front.
Good offensive board there by the Eagle Bears.
Jennings fouled on the drive. They'll call it on Lynn King. That's his first. And let's see if they put Jennings on the line. No, they'll say he was still on the floor on the foul, so Riley will inbounds.
Folks, you can check balance, transfer funds, pay for your share of the pizza. You can do all these things and more with the First Source mobile banking app, and find it in the App Store or Google Play Store today. First Source Bank, member FDIC, and proud supporter of this anniversary game.
Jennings travels. First turnover of the game. Charge to Riley.
It doesn't happen often with Mr. Jennings. Very good ball handler.
Doesn't happen often with Riley. They're only making 11 turnovers a game. Turnovers have been a huge problem for this young Adams squad. They make 17 per contest, and it was a point of emphasis for Chad Johnston before the game with his team down in the locker room. Inside, Johnson's baby hook won't go, and the rebound to Gabe Johnson. Wearing the number 50 his grandpa used to wear at South Bend Central. Down low and thrown away by Riley. Here comes Worsham and Adams for the layup. 6'3" Eagles at the other end. Up strong and fouled was Dejon Barney, and he was fouled by Chuck Worsham, and he'll go to the line for 2.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies continues to be the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. The team at IFT proud of their efforts, setting the standard for research and development now for almost 60 years. IFT and the teams in this game working toward the same goal. That's a great finish.
Dejon Barney shooting free throws, sponsored by First Source Bank. Dejon only a 46% free throw shooter on the year. The lanky 6'6" senior looking for his first point of the night. And there it is. Adams by a deuce. Full court pressure from Riley, and it results in an Adams turnover. Jennings drops it off, and Johnson lays it up and in.
Chuck, just like a Westview game with Millers and Yoders, you got too many Johnsons out there.
And apparently Blake Wesley is wearing 35 tonight. As you see the bucket and the bump. Jeffries scores inside, so Blake Wesley has 5 points here for Riley, but at the other end, Sidney Jeffries goes in strong, draws the foul on Dejon Barney, and he'll go to the line with a free throw sponsored by Wells Fargo Advisors.
Jeffries is up there a bunch.
Well, it makes a little more sense seeing Blake Wesley shoot three-pointers and be offensively minded. You knew with these uniform changes tonight, somebody was going to be messed up.
And we're fine with it. Everybody did such a great job with this effort.
Wesley's pass deflected out to the corner. Here's Trevor Fortune. He's bodied up, and Worsham draws his second foul, and Chad Johnston going to go to the bench.
Worsham with 2 points in the ball game, a couple of rebounds, some good defense, but also a couple of fouls early.
So here comes Foster, who had 18 off the bench on Tuesday night against Bremen, as Riley inbounds, trailing by 3. Gabe Johnson's shot partially blocked by Shaq Johnson. Here comes Adams the other way. Foster inside, Shaq Johnson for 2. Great pass by Foster. Adams off to a strong start. That's been a problem for Chad Johnston's team at times this year, but they have a 5-point lead here. Another Riley turnover, and Adams comes down 3-on-3. Out to the corner, Jeffries' pull-up jumper is off the side of the backboard, and Jennings has a breakaway the other way for Riley. Jeffries with the foul will send Jalen Jennings to the line for 2.
Boy, early in the game, that's not a foul you like to see a guy commit. Obviously, he was trying to get the shot block, prevented the easy basket, but got 3/4 of play left to go. Don't get yourself in foul trouble, because you're going to need Jeffries.
5 fouls now on Adams as a team. If you look at Jared Drake, and there's Jalen Jennings, the 74% free throw shooter, hits the first his free throw, sponsored by First Source Bank.
Can't say enough about the job that his dad does helping us out with the statistics at Riley. Really appreciate it.
Jaquan Ulmer, number 42, checks into the game for Riley.
Nice thing about that Riley lineup, when you have so many changes, they've had the same lineup for the last 3, but they've got players with experience that can get in there and help, and they've done that with Ulmer now.
Foster, a nice catch along the sideline, and then he goes in and draws the foul at the other end. I believe it's going to be on Gabe Johnson. That's the first on Gabe. And it'll send Ben Foster, a 63% free throw shooter, to the line for free throws sponsored by Wells Fargo Advisors.
Chuck, we talked in the pregame about how important it would be for Riley to stay in front of the drivers from Adams, and so far they've been able to get the ball through the baseline and get good opportunities.
Foster, who also plays on the football team here at Adams, participates in the Brothers Group and a member of DAP. The senior gets his first point of the night right there. And Adams up by 4, 12-8. Jalen Jennings outside. Jennings down the lane, up strong, got the bucket and the bump.
Wow. He gives you so many different things that he can do.
Another foul on Quintez Columbus. That's his second. And Jennings at the line for a free throw sponsored by First Source Bank.
Did you know that South Bend has youth and high school lacrosse club? That's right. Players who compete with the South Bend Bears will have the opportunity to develop good sportsmanship, character building, and a variety of life lessons that extend far beyond athletics. Learn more, go to the website at southbendlacrosse.com.
Columbus in strong, missed the layup. The rebound to Riley, and the Cats on the run. All the way down for the layup and 2 is Trevor Fortune. And just like that, Riley takes a 1-point lead. Jeffries outside. Now Foster. Shaq Johnson posts up down low, double team and a steal. Here comes Fortune the other way for Riley. Lost the handle, but got it to Wesley. Wesley misses the rebound, tipped up and in by Jaquan Ulmer. And Riley with an explosive 7-0 run right here.
4 offensive boards here in the first quarter.
Johnson, a spin move. The hack called against Trevor Fortune of Riley, his first. That'll put Shaq Johnson on the line. Johnson, only a 52% free throw shooter, takes free throw sponsored by Wells Fargo Advisors.
Eastside Youth Baseball and Softball, located in South Bend, was founded to provide boys and girls ages 4 to 18 a park to play baseball and softball. They're a nonprofit organization serving children of St. Joseph and Elkhart counties. Sign-ups are currently going on now for the 2019 season. For more information, visit their website, eastsidebaseballsoftball.org, or like their Facebook page.
2 free throws for Johnson. He has 6 points to lead the Eagles. 1-point ball game. Tavon Columbus has checked in now for South Bend Adams. He wears number 50 tonight. Jennings directing things from the point for Riley. Adams staying with a man-to-man. Good ball movement by Riley. Fortune trying to direct traffic now. Gabe Johnson, boy, Adams all over him in the corner. They are not letting him get away. So Fortune takes advantage of some space, gets his own rebound. It's slotted away, but Johnson collects the loose change. Down to a minute to play, first quarter. You see the score on the Thor Industries scoreboard at the bottom of your screen. Johnson looked like he got away with a bunny hop, missed the shot anyway. And Shaq Johnson gets the rebound for Adams. Quintez Columbus playing with 2 fouls, goes right around Fortune and charges. That's his third. And that had to be a concern. And a great defensive play there by Riley to draw the foul on Columbus.
Columbus going to be out of there in a hurry. Again, the foul is such a crucial aspect of this game tonight. Chuck Worsham back in. He's got a couple of fouls.
Jaquan Ulmer did a great job of drawing the charge. He saw Columbus coming.
See the sail or the flag?
Exactly. Jennings all the way down the lane. His shot altered in the rebound, Shaq Johnson. Jeffries kicks it outside. Worsham missed the layup and the rebound to Riley. Cats on the run now. Jennings all the way for 2. Jalen with 7 in the first quarter. Chad Johnston will play for 1 shot. His team down by 3. Jeffries down the baseline, got the bucket and the bump.
3 one way or the other.
Call the foul on Gabe Johnson. That's his second. And Sidney Jeffries looking for his second old-fashioned three-point play of the first quarter.
Gurley Leap is here for you in the community and driven to give by supporting local charities across Michiana. And Gurley Leap has nearly 200 new and used vehicles, so they're certain to have the car that's right for you and your family. Find out more, visit GurleyLeap.com.
Jennings for three, off the mark. And the first quarter comes to an end. That last free throw sponsored by Wells Fargo Advisors. 8 minutes in the books at Hadaway Shack, and it's been what we've expected. Racehorse basketball representing the old South Bend Central Bears, tied at 17 after 1 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by IU South Bend, fulfilling the promise. Bo Hunt often offers first quarter analysis in the Bills Heating Sideline Report. He's got something much better than that tonight. Standing by with one of the great South Bend Central Bears.
Standing by with Jim Powers, 1963 state runner-up coach. You were able to play under Wooden. You were able to go to college and play under him as well. Just talk about this atmosphere here at South Bend and what they've done here for the South Bend Central Bears, giving them the tradition here tonight.
Well, I'm just very appreciative of whatever they've done this evening. I'm just absolutely shocked with the memories of days gone by. Of course, I was an old Central graduate in 1943, played for Coach John Wooden, coached and taught at Central High School for 19 years. The tradition, the loyalty, everything about Central High School was first class. It's just been a wonderful experience for me. And I'm so happy to be here tonight.
Just seeing the players out here in the uniforms that they were wearing, what type of memories was that bring back for you?
Well, of course, it's a day gone by, but I actually wore the uniforms that UCLA wore with Coach Wooden, and I think we had the most beautiful uniforms that there were. And these are very, very reminiscent of what we played with, except, of course, the pants are a little bit longer, but it's been just wonderful to see them out there with that.
One last question. The game has changed so much since you've been a coach. Just talk about those differences and those little kids that are out there watching tonight. What's the one thing you would tell them to work on at home?
Well, fundamentals, though, there is just nothing. That's what Coach Wooden did with us, and he did it all the way through UCLA. You've got to know how to dribble, pass, and shoot. You've got to know how to rebound. You've got to have, fundamentals are the basis of everything. And if you don't have those, then you just don't have an individual. You don't have a team. So it's fundamentals that are so important. And I think that both coaches today look to me like they're very well coached, and they do have the fundamentals down very well.
It's such a pleasure talking to you, and best of luck in your endeavors.
Thank you very much.
Back to you guys.
All right, thank you, Bo. As we stand, 20-19 Riley. Jalen Jennings with the drive for two. Jennings now with 9. Our second quarter being brought to us by the South Bend Alumni Association. Chad Johnston taking a timeout, sponsored by South Bend Eastside Baseball and Softball. 6:43 to go, first half. 22-19 Riley on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is being brought to you by Bills Heating, keeping families and businesses comfortable since 1951.
In that first quarter, Riley Wildcats 33% from the field on 6 out of 18, but they got 18 shots. Adam only got 11. Adams did go to the line 7 times, made 5 of them. 1 3-pointer made in the game. It was by Riley. They're 1 out of 4 and 4 out of 5 from the line.
So Adams with the ball, trailing by 3. Chad Johnston emphasized to his team in the locker room before the game, transition defense. Well, he hasn't been pleased with it yet, so he's making a substitution here. And it looks like he's put Matt Anella into the game. Originally, I had Matt down as number 40 tonight. Let me double check that. No, Anella's on the bench. We'll determine who this is in the game now. Bryce Martins is in the game, number 43. And the ball poked away. Here comes Jennings for Riley, leading the break. Outside to Wesley's three is off the mark, and the ball will go to Adams.
Wells Fargo advisor John Anella offers a wide range of services, including individual investments and retirement planning. If you'd like to get started with your financial planning, call John Anella, 574-236-4736. John and his team at Wells Fargo Advisors, proud supporters of Adams High School, and wish the team good luck in tonight's special game.
Jennings gets mauled by Lynn King.
You don't see him backing down, though, do you?
No. But the problem with that foul, as you see here, Martins had great position. King comes over and tries to make a great play, but he has no body control whatsoever. So it'll put Jennings at the line for free throw sponsored by First Source Bank. Jalen with his first free throw miss of the night. And Tavon Columbus will check in for Adams, whose bench is getting tested with foul trouble tonight.
Certainly are. Under 6 minutes to go in this first half.
Jennings now with 10 points to lead all scorers. And Riley with a 4-point lead, its biggest of the night. Martins being hounded by Jennings. Finds Foster in the corner. Johnson inside, was hacked in the act and couldn't get it to drop.
Good look, foul called on Braylon Guyden for Riley. Folks, Piper Morgan and Stasiak is your personal injury law firm in South Bend. They're trusted and experienced and will give you the best possible representation. Piper, Morgan, and Stasiak, proud supporter of high school athletics.
Free throw sponsored by Wells Fargo Advisors. Shaq Johnson averaging 16 a game this year, is halfway there so far tonight with 8 points. Johnson very strong for his size. Trying not to live up to the name of another Shaq at the foul line, but he missed them both, and the rebound comes to Riley. Jaquan Ulmer outside Trevor Fortune. Now Wesley, and Columbus will back off of him. And a travel called on Fortune.
Fifth turnover for Riley. Just a couple for Adams so far in the ball game tonight. Folks, while you're cheering on your favorite teams from the stands, know that Thor Industries is your biggest fan. As the largest RV manufacturer in the world and with 16 Thor companies in northern Indiana, we've got a spot for you in our starting lineup. Visit ThorIndustries.com today to get started.
Riley fans wanted an over and back call there, but didn't get it. Foster in the corner. Drives baseline, and the pull-up is off the glass and good for Ben Foster's first field goal of the night and his 3rd point.
Look out when he gets started. Usually the way he goes.
Riley slowing down the pace a little bit against the 1-3-1 zone of Adams. Jennings will launch for 3, though. Misses, and the rebound to Johnson, who just went up and got a man's rebound there.
That was a man's rebound.
Jeffries the other way for 2. Sidney with 8 for tied at 23. Fortune nearly threw it away. Good ball movement by the Cats, and they find Wesley for the open 3. And Johnson, another rebound. They're off to the races. Jeffries goes in and charges. His 2nd.
John Adams High School has been a member of the Northern Indiana Conference since the 40-41 school year. And they've been #1 in overall girls sports in the South Bend Community School District for the last 8 years. Their student athletes excel in both the classroom and playing on the field. The pride of the East Side, once an Eagle, always an Eagle.
The timeout taken by Adams. It's sponsored by South Bend East Side Baseball and Softball. 4:16 to go first half. Knotted at 23 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week is being brought to you by the electrical workers of Local 153. They're making our community brighter. The Adams Band performing here, entertaining this crowd, stretching up into the second balcony at Hadaway Shack, one of the great old gyms in northern Indiana. We've been in a couple of them this year. The Cave, of course, the oldest active one, but this one looking pretty good after 79 years.
And we've been in a few of them this year where we're packed houses. We're not quite packed tonight, but a good crowd on hand for this memorable game. For that night at Riley with Marion, Westview. A good crowd last week down at Plymouth.
In case you joined us late, the two teams wearing the uniforms of the old South Bend Central Bears. Riley in the blue, Adams in the white. Jalen Jennings takes it into the lane, kicks it out to Braylon Guyton for three. And it goes in.
Went in twice, I think.
Guyton now with 5. And Riley back in front. Bryce Martin's giving his team some valuable minutes off the bench with a couple of guards in foul trouble, but a reach-in foul called against Riley here on Trevor Fortune. That's going to be his second.
Interested in improving all areas of your fitness program or sport? Join the Strength and Conditioning Center in Mishawaka. That's the Beacon Sports Performance Center. They offer youth, high school, and adult performance training. Visit their website at beaconhealthandfitness.org to do that today.
So we've got a sub coming in for Riley, somebody not listed in our lineups, but we'll try to pick up who it is. In the meantime, Jeffries comes up empty, and at the other end, I believe it's Anderson who missed, but Guyton there for the tip back. And Guyton now with 7, all coming here in the second quarter. He's been a difference maker off the bench. Martins outside to Jeffries. Johnson inside, Shack is hacked, and he'll go to the line for 2, sponsored by Wells Fargo Advisors.
A lot of contact inside. He went up strong. I thought he had enough to get it in the basket. Fell off, but we talk about two teams really going after each other tonight.
Johnson just came up empty on a pair of free throws his last time at the stripe. And as we mentioned, only a 52% free throw shooter on the year. But the 6'1" senior has given Adams some valuable inside presence this year. This is not a very tall team. Tallest member of the team is King at 6'2".
Got one of them.
But Johnson, with his strength, trying to go into double figures here if he can hit this one. Much better looking time at the stripe that time for Shack. He's got 10, 3-point ball game with under 3 to play first half. Nearly a steal by Tavon Columbus. Instead, Guyton gets loose on the wing. Now 3 in the corner, and Ulmer hits it. Jaquan Ulmer's first 3-pointer of the night. He was just 5 of 23 from 3-point range coming in, but Riley with its biggest lead at 6. Foster inside, stolen away. Here comes Guyton. Cats on the run. Guyton all the way, missed the layup, tipped up and in by Anderson. So Anderson with 2. Foster's 3 is blocked, and they call a foul outside. And it'll be called on Blake Wesley, who cannot believe it. You get another look on the 46 replay.
Second foul on Wesley. Folks, SBAA is a proud champion for extracurricular activities in the South Bend Community School Corporation, and they supported students for over 3 decades. Last year alone, they gave over $30,000 in scholarship money to graduates of South Bend schools. Learn more and get involved by visiting their website, southbendalumniassociation.com at southbendalumni.com.
Free throw sponsored by Wells Fargo Advisors. Ben Foster taking 3 free throws here because he was outside the arc. He missed the first. He's just 1 of 3 at the stripe tonight. 63% foul shooter on the year, hits that one. Riley again will go to the bench. And Jacoy Johnson will check in. One more for Foster. The bearded one can't get that one to go. And Ulmer gets another rebound.
Riley leading on the boards by quite a bit. Adams shooting a better percentage. We'll look at the numbers at halftime. And we'll have our student athletes brought to you by TCU. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com. Find out how you can become a member today.
Jennings was grabbed as he went through the lane by Shaq Johnson. That's the first on Shaq. It'll put Jalen Jennings at the line for two.
Head coach Chad Johnson got up and said he carried the ball. Well, sometimes he does, I guess. Pretty quick, tough to detect it sometimes.
You don't have to be much of a lip reader there. Chad just said that was awful. As Jennings hits the first free throw, sponsored by First Source Bank. He has 11 points tonight.
Piper Morgan and Stasiak, proud supporter of high school athletics, and wants to wish all the athletes in tonight's game the best of luck. Piper Morgan and Stasiak, standing up for your rights. South Bend's trusted personal injury lawyers.
Riley opening up a 9-point lead. Foster lost the handle, but Johnson picked it up and put it in and drew the foul. Shaq Johnson with 12 points already, and he'll go to the line for another free throw sponsored by Wells Fargo Advisors. That was right place, right time that time for Johnson, and he's fouled by Jacoy Johnson.
The balance we talked about before the game, they're getting it out of Jeffries and Johnson. But not much yet out of Foster. He's got 4 points.
Well, and Worsham, King, and Columbus all in foul trouble here in the first half. Yet Adams still within 6. Last free throw sponsored by First Source Bank. Riley spreading it out. Then they got it inside and a travel called on Ulmer.
Johns Adams High School has been an A-rated school for the last 2 years. Their athletic department takes great pride in educating and promoting excellence in education. The pride of the East Side, once an Eagle, always an Eagle. And our thanks to the Adams High School athletic department and everybody here at Adams who helped us with this wonderful evening.
Martin's three is off the mark. Ulmer the rebound for Riley. Less than a minute to go first half. Anderson, now Jennings. Move the ball around. Guyton for three. That's off the mark, but an easy rebound for Johnson. Nobody bothered to box him out. 8-point ball game.
Another offensive board for Riley.
Jeffries knifes his way to the hoop for two in the harm. So Sidney Jeffries, the 6'1 sophomore, averaging just 12 a game, but he's got 10 already tonight thanks to some quickness here. So he went right through the Riley defense. Free throw sponsored by Wells Fargo Advisors. No good. Foster had it and lost it out of bounds because Jennings knocked it away. Adams gets possession back. And Jared Drake, does he want a timeout? Yes, he does. Timeout called by Riley. It's sponsored by Piper Morgan and Stasiak.
And coming up at halftime, our Student Athletes of the Week brought to you by TCU. Teachers Credit Union understands the importance of growing your future. Whether you're growing your family, your square footage, or your business, Teachers Credit Union is here for you with financial solutions that will help you succeed. Visit tcunet.com to start growing your future today. Federally insured by the NCUA, they are an equal housing opportunity lender.
The scoring pace tonight, what you would expect from two of the most offensive teams in the area. Penn, the fourth best offense in the state at 75 points a game. But look at Riley at 67.3, Adams at 65.3. When you're scoring on a pace with the likes of Penn, Marquette, and Westview, you're putting the ball in the hoop, and we've seen that here in the first half tonight.
Well, there's so many great visits on the way in, and during the week, I had a couple of occasions to be out and around, and people would stop and say, well, you know, I was at Central in 53, and then they name off all the players on the state champ, like every one of them. Nobody forgets a thing. Guy said, I can't remember what I had for breakfast, but I can tell you who started for Central in 53.
Martin's all the way in, couldn't get it to go. Johnson the putback. Shaq Johnson with 15. It's a 4-point game. Riley will get the last shot of the half.
Well, what a first half for Shaq Johnson, picking up his teammates who've been in foul trouble.
Anderson will launch the three. It's no good, and the first half comes to an end. And a very entertaining first half here at Hadaway Shack. A 37-33 lead for South Bend Riley. Bo Hunt has tracked down Chad Johnston, the Adams coach.
Going at half, down by 4. Back and forth game, very physical. A little bit of foul trouble for your guys. Just thoughts on that first half?
Yeah, when you have two guys with 3 fouls, you kind of had to keep our 2 point guards in there. We took a little gamble, kind of backfired. But being down 4, I'll take it with those guys sitting on the bench. I'm really happy with the guys that came in off the bench. Bryce and Tavon did a really good job subbing in for those guys. So hopefully, second half, we'll be able to handle the ball a little bit better.
Chad, thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
Big individual first halves for a pair of players. Riley's Jalen Jennings leading the Cats. He had 12 points in that first half, but then Shaq Johnson counters at the other end with 15 for Adams, and it's a 4-point ball game at the intermission. 37-33, Riley in the lead. TCU student athletes next on 46.
And we welcome you back to John Adams High School Gymnasium, the home of the Central Bears. Well, it was. Tonight it's the home of the game of the week between Riley and Adams. And we've got a couple of outstanding members of their student bodies here representing them as our Student Athletes of the Week, brought to you by TCU. They remind you to go online at tcunet.com and find out how you can become a member today. And with us from Riley High School is McKenna Mass, and McKenna will talk to you in just a moment.
Okay.
Congratulations on your success.
Thank you.
All righty, McKenna's there, and Ariana Bordonia Jurkowitz is with us over here from Adams High School. And first of all, congratulations on your success as well.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to talk to this Riley Wildcat over here for just a minute. McKenna, congratulations on your success, not only with what you're doing with academics, but you're in that pool.
Yeah.
And when you're in the pool at Riley, it means business. They've got a great tradition. You're part of it.
Yes.
Talk about the work that's involved to be in there, because I know you guys swim in the morning before school.
Yeah.
And then competitively, I mean, you really have to work on it.
Yeah, so we get up at 4:30, and then we have to be at Riley between like 5 and 5:15, and practice starts at 5:30. And then we do pool work and then weight room, and we don't get out of the pool until 8. And then we get ready for school, and we go 9 to 4, and then after school, we work until like 5:30. And we go home and eat, do our homework, and go to bed and repeat it every day.
I've always said that, basketball players, football players get a lot of publicity. Swimmers, wrestlers, and band members work harder than anybody else. And talk about what you want to study in college and where you'd like to go.
I want to go to Virginia Tech and major in architecture and interior design.
And down the road, designing things and building things?
Yeah, hopefully.
Well, it's a great school, and I wish you all the best there. Give a shout out to the people that matter in your life that help you be successful.
Definitely my mom and my dad are my biggest supporters. They've been with me in swimming since I was 7. And also Coach John Van Dreesch and Susan Walker and then Drew Thomas are my high school coaches, and they've been amazing and pushed me so much in the last 4 years especially.
Kind of nice looking around that gym and seeing all those state championship banners and the tradition. It's a great tradition at Riley.
Yeah, it's a big motivator.
Well, good luck to you at the college level, and appreciate you being with us. Congratulations.
Thank you.
All right, it's McKenna Mass from Riley High School, and Ariana Bordonia Jurkowitz is with us from Adams High School. And first of all, we congratulate you on what you're doing academically, and you're involved in cheerleading here. And today, take that plaque away for a moment. You're looking at the South Bend Central Bears cheerleading uniforms. So it's really a special night, isn't it?
Yeah, so these uniforms are actually really great. Our coach talked to Mr. Seitz, our principal, and asked him if we could have them made specially for the game, just to give the alumni who are here just a nice little night where they can really experience how it used to be for them when they were at Central.
Well, I can remember the Central cheerleaders. I was a freshman in high school the last year that Central was open, but you saw the Central cheerleaders. Central Bears. I just want to throw that in. Anyway, you've got some great academic studies ahead of you. What are your plans?
So I'm actually not sure what university I'm going to go to yet. I'm looking at Purdue. I got accepted into the engineering school. So my academic plans are to major in environmental engineering but I'm not sure exactly yet what school I'll be at in the fall.
Well, that's going to be a great interest and very important in the future, environmental engineering.
Yeah.
Wish the best of luck there, and give a shout out to the wonderful people in your life that have helped you.
I'll give a shout out to my parents and I guess just all of my friends, and most importantly my teammates on the cheer team. They've really been there for me and are a great influence and a great positive vibe to be around all the time.
It's always nice to be around people that are number one, and you're number one in your class. Congratulations on your success.
Thank you so much.
All right. Ariana Bordonia Jurkowitz. I got it right, I think, the last time, so that's good. Let's say thank you to these ladies, and thanks to Teachers Credit Union for their support. TCU reminds you to go online at tcunet.com. Find out how you can become a member today. We'll take a break, come back, and look at some halftime stats and highlights in just a moment. You're watching the TV46 High School Basketball Game of the Week.
This edition of the 46 Game of the Week being brought to you in part by Crown Trophy. They're nationally known and locally owned. Halftime here in Hadaway Shack. And Riley leading Adams 37-33 as many in the crowd come to their feet for the South Bend Central fight song. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray. Very entertaining first half.
It really was, Chuck. We saw a lot of putbacks, a lot of offensive rebounds by both teams following up, a lot of quickness. There's some foul trouble certainly for John Adams in the first half, but they hung in there and they're only down 4 at halftime. I thought one of the great highlights of the first half was Bo Hunt's interview with Jimmy Ice Cream Powers. What a treat that was, and a lot of other great plays in that first half.
Well, let's show you what this night is all about and how things got to be this way, because South Bend Central, state champs in 53 and 57, being honored by both teams tonight wearing the uniforms of the Bears, and then they represented. Blake Wesley had a very strong first quarter, 6 points in the opening stanza, but Adams was able to match him early on. Sidney Jeffries with a strong first quarter and first half. He had 10 points in the first half. Jalen Jennings led Riley with 12 points in the opening half, and Braylon Guyton came off the bench with 7, but Shaq Johnson just seemed to be always with the ball in the right place. He had 15 points in the first half, and Adams getting a bucket there from Johnson. Still within 4 at the intermission despite a sloppy first half.
And Adams actually shot a better percentage from the field, but didn't get as many shots. They were beaten on the boards a little bit too by Riley, and Riley did have 7 turnovers, 6 of them for Adams, and again, that's unofficial but close. Free throw shooting pretty good for the Riley Wildcats. Adams gave away some opportunities at the free throw line, but again, a 4-point game at halftime. I think, as Chad Johnson said, he's pretty happy with that. Chuck, one of the things I wanted to point out, and there's so many great stories, when you think about the history of South Bend Central, the one that always I remember so well was an all-school anniversary, when guys were coming in the door, and the guys sitting down would get up to go greet the person coming in, and they were black and they were white and they were brown. The only color ever mattered at the South Bend Central High School was navy blue and orange. And when you think about the names, the Coleman brothers, Quiggle, Mike Warren, you think about Mike Zucchini, tremendous people, and the only, like I said, they all bought into each other. They had a great camaraderie in the school spirit. It's something very special.
You feel it here tonight with Riley leading Adams 37-33 at the intermission. We're back with second half play-by-play after this on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you by Imagineering Finishing Technologies. IFT, where quality is a way of life. A way of life for us is a Bo Hunt sideline report. And I know, Bo, you had a chance to talk with the Riley head coach, Jared Drake, at the intermission. What do you have to say?
I talked to him about adjustments and what they need to do a little bit better in the second half, and also talked about with Shaq Johnson and how they need to keep him off the boards and how they need to handle him, how he's a force inside. They knew coming in they need to shut him down. He had too big of a first half, and they need to eliminate that here in the second half. Guys?
I think one of the things that stands out to me, Bob, as I look at the first half numbers, Shaq Johnson 15, Gabe Johnson nothing for Riley. And that's one reason Adams is still in this ball game despite all that foul trouble.
And I expected Adams would have a little more balance. They've got 2 guys that have really gotten it going, but give credit to Riley. They've taken some of the other players, some of the role players for Adams, and kind of limited what they do. So we'll see who steps up here in the second half. Here to call it, my partner, our Family Broadcasting Corporation Sports Director, Chuck Freeby.
Third quarter brought to us by the South Bend Alumni Association. Trevor Fortune handles it out top for the Riley Wildcats, looking for win number 17 of the season. Blake Wesley for three, off the back iron, and the rebound out of bounds off Adams. Riley retains possession. Boy, Jared Drake looking splendid in his orange and blue over there on the Riley sideline tonight.
So many people, some guys bought out their old letter sweaters from South Bend Central. Great to see that.
The fact that you can still fit in your old letter sweater, impressive as well. Gabe Johnson gets his first basket of the second half. I get the feeling that was probably something that Jared Drake wanted to see here as we start period number 3, and Chad Johnson didn't want that. An unforced turnover. Gabe Johnson goes in and gets the bucket and the bump.
Well, he plays well with singed tail feathers, doesn't he? I think the coach probably got after him a little bit at halftime. They need him not only to play well tonight, every night for Riley. Talented young man. They're looking forward to seeing him over Bethel.
And Chuck Worsham picks up his 4th foul of the contest just 50 seconds into the second half, so he'll go have a seat. Gabe Johnson shooting free throw sponsored by First Source Bank. Gabe, a 67% foul shooter, back from a major leg injury his sophomore year. 5 quick points to start the half, and the Riley lead is back up to 9.
Kind of what scorers do, isn't it?
Shaq Johnson inside right when his team needed him, but couldn't convert, and the rebound stripped away by Jennings. Here's Gabe Johnson for 2 more. Chad Johnston's already burned 2 timeouts in this one. He doesn't want to take one right here, but his team needs a bucket desperately, and they get it from Shaq Johnson.
Shaq has delivered all night long. He's been special.
17 for the Eagles forward. Fortune. They move it around. Jennings has been quiet outside tonight. He's done most of his offense by slashing. Here's Wesley for 3. That's no good. Battle for the loose ball out of bounds off Riley. Adams gets it back.
But nobody needs to convince Wesley that it's time to shoot. He likes to shoot the 3, and that was almost an entry pass, but they were unable to get the rebound back up and went out of bounds.
Here comes Adams. Foster for 3. Not that time. The rebound put up and in by guess who? Shaq Johnson has to have a double-double already tonight. We know he's got it with the points with 19.
I'd say he's right there.
And Adams makes another surge, trailing by 7. Jennings for 3. Jalen Jennings with a big 3-pointer right there. His first of the night, his 33rd of the year. He has 15 points. Shaq Johnson had it stripped away, but they call a foul on Trevor Fortune, his 3rd.
Chuck, one of the things about the halftime numbers, when you look at the John Adams Eagles, they did not make a 3-pointer in the first half. They only took 1. And what that tells you is that Chad Johnson said, we got to get the ball inside. We got to get them in foul trouble. We got to push the ball inside. We might see him open up a little bit more from the outside to get a chance.
Wesley knocks that one out of bounds. Right by the stage area here at Hadaway Shack. Named for the longtime Adams coach Dave Hadaway. Boy, this gym is like an English muffin. It's got nooks and crannies all over the place.
A lot of changes over the years.
Lynn King cannot hit, but the rebound comes to Quintez Columbus, who does.
New Country heard from.
That's the first basket of the night for the 5'11 sophomore, who was riddled with foul trouble in the first half. And out of bounds was Ulmer, and Adams retakes possession.
Every coach will tell his team, you're down by 11. We can't get an 11-point play or basket, but you got to whittle it down. They've got the ball now. 3-pointer here, which would be their first, would make it a 5-point game.
Nearly a turnover, but Jeffries gets it back for Adams and then throws it away. Jennings with the quick outlet to Gabe Johnson for 2.
How about Jennings and that basketball IQ that he's got? He knew where that pass was coming.
Gabe Johnson scoreless at halftime, now has 9. Jeffries for 3, way off the mark, and Riley gets it back, leading by 10.
The South Bend Alumni Association supports extracurricular activities that are no longer tax funded, so students have the opportunity to fully develop their skills and talents to become productive members of our community. Since 2014, the SBAA has given over $250,000 to schools for these extracurricular activities. Learn more and get involved by visiting their website at southbendalumni.com.
Riley leading by 10 midway through the third, kind of slowing down the pace on this possession. Jennings, back door open, Wesley went through it. Blake Wesley now with 8.
Makes him more dangerous when he gets out on the outside. They're waiting to guard him out there, and he drove to the backside and got open.
King on the baseline for 2, and Lynn King with his second basket tonight. Back to a 10-point ball game.
Need a couple of stops.
Wesley right down the lane, blocked, but the rebound comes right into the hands of Dejon Barney for his first basket of the night.
That's got to be about 10 of those tonight, Chuck, where Riley has missed a shot and the offensive board's gone in.
Foster for 3. It's sponsored by the Adams Athletic Department. Ben Foster's 25th three-pointer of the year makes it a single-digit game again.
What a treat to enjoy this one.
Jennings signals the play, and Chad Johnston wants his defense to come out a little bit. Jennings all the way in, couldn't get it to go. He was fouled by Johnson.
Folks, when it comes to banking, think about check balance, transfer funds, pay for your share of the pizza. You can do all those things and more with the First Source mobile banking app. Find it in the App Store or Google Play Store. Do it today. First Source Bank, member FDIC, and proud supporter of tonight's anniversary game, honoring the South Bend Central Bears.
Jalen Jennings headed to Marian University to play football. He will graduate from Riley this spring with the most letters of any Riley Wildcat in that school's history.
And you think about some great athletes that went through Riley.
Ole Galloway, Demezy Anderson. Rob Berger would like his name added to that list, but we did say great athletes.
You know, we were talking about some of the folks at South Bend Alumni Association, all the wonderful things they've done. I think about guys like Roland Kelly, Ron Bella. The guys very involved in getting that thing started, and great attributes to the South Bend schools over the years.
Tavon Columbus misses the layup, and the rebound comes to Gabe Johnson. Riley by 10. Johnson pull up 3. Not that time. And the rebound tipped outside, controlled by Adams.
Eagles need to make a run here at the end of the third quarter.
Kyron McClatchy outside. Now Quintez Columbus misses the 3. It's tipped around, and the rebound comes to Columbus.
Good hustle.
McClatchy for 3. That's no good. Columbus, the carom, bucket in the bump.
Little payback there. Another one of those double offensive rebound possessions.
And Jared Drake not happy with the rebounding that time. Will make some substitutions. Anderson comes back in along with Blake Wesley taking the place of Gabe Johnson.
Johnson had a nice spurt there in the third quarter, scored 9 points.
Columbus's free throw sponsored by Wells Fargo Advisors. Quintez, an 80% free throw shooter on the year. The cousin, the former Riley star Riantre Lawrence, puts that one in. He has 5. It's a 7-point game. Ulmer nearly lost the handle. Anderson just about tossed it away, and Jennings will settle everything down as he normally does.
Maybe coach is watching this tape. Where's Jennings? He wears 11. Not tonight.
The team's wearing the South Bend Central uniforms tonight. Wesley had it stripped away, but they call a foul. That'll be on Quintez Columbus, and that's his 4th. So Columbus and Worsham both with 4 fouls now, and Chad Johnston looks down his bench to see who he can put in.
Well, it could be Steve Austin or Jimmy Webb. Mooney Hill. It's so many great players.
Blake Wesley, 72% foul shooter, hits the first. He has 9. Free throws for Riley, sponsored by First Source Bank. As Sidney Jeffries, who had 10 first half points, comes back in.
Thinking about the Mitchum brothers. Their dad, Span Mitchum, passed just about a month ago. Wonderful man, great family here at Adams.
Glenn Sudhoff. Wesley now with 10. Riley has the lead back up to 9.
Kevin Patterson would want me to mention him. Nobody had more average talent and did more with it than Kevin Patterson. How was that? KP?
You can send those comments into the Bob Nagel email box.
Yeah. KP was a great athlete here at Adams. Football player, terrific baseball player.
Jennings handling the ball up top for Riley. Wildcats in a 1-4 set right now. Jennings gets the pieces moving. Anderson with a good catch. Kicked it outside. Ulmer's three rattles home with those nice soft rims. Jaquan Ulmer with 8 points tonight. It's Riley with the balance in the scorebook and the lead on the scoreboard. Johnson has been the man for Adams tonight, but he couldn't get that one to go. And then another foul called on Adams. This one on Kyron McClatchy.
Imagineering Finishing Technologies continues to be the industry knowledge source for metal finishing solutions. Can you believe they're coming up on their 60th anniversary? The team at IFT, proud of their efforts in setting the standard for research and development. IFT and the teams in this game working toward the same goal, that is a great finish.
Jim Hammer and the team over there excited about those developments at IFT. Riley excited about having a 12-point lead, wants to hold for the last shot of the third quarter if they can. Jennings slices into the paint and draws a lot of contact. It'll be a foul on the floor against Adams. I believe this one's on McClatchy, his second.
Even though Jalen Jennings is just 5'9", and I think he might be sneaking an inch or two in on us there. But he's so quick, you either have to cut him off before he gets started, or you're going to have to foul him on the way by.
Final 10 seconds of the third quarter with Blake Wesley knifing in, had it stolen away by Jeffries. Foster got it stripped by Jalen Jennings. Great pass to Ulmer to end the third quarter. What a play by Jennings, and what a quarter for the Riley Wildcats. The blue and gold faithful come to their feet on the other side. Jared Drake thrilled with the play of his point guard. Riley by 14 after 3 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by the IHSAA, partnering with TV 46 for 30 years. We go downstairs for a Bills Heating sideline report. Bo Hunt, we had a 4-point game at halftime, 14-point game now. What made the difference in the third quarter for Riley?
Well, during the 46 picks, I told you there's going to be some runs in this game, and can you counter that run? Adams hasn't been able to do that to the Riley run because of Gabe Johnson. What a great job Johnson did getting out. You talked about it. He had a donut at halftime. Comes out, gets the first 7 points for Riley, puts them up by 11. Adams hasn't been able to counter, and Shaq Johnson, they eliminated him. It's what they talked about, eliminating him on the inside. He got a couple points in that third quarter, but that was the key to that third quarter, guys.
So the fourth quarter underway, and the three off the caroms off the clock above the backboard. And so Quintez Columbus couldn't get that one to drop. Riley gets the ball back. Fourth quarter sponsored by the South Bend Alumni Association. Gabe Johnson outside to Braylon Guyton for 3. And Guyton with his second 3 of the night. He has 10. And Riley with 4 players in double figures so far, and another one right on the cusp.
Bench has been much more effective for Riley tonight. Fortune getting in the scoring column. Although he did start tonight's game, but boy, that 10 points for Braden Guyton has been huge.
Call the foul on Wesley, that's his first.
Ulmer also did not start the game tonight. He's got 10 points.
Yeah, I see 24 points off the bench for Riley right now. As slicing in and getting the layup to go is Chuck Worsham. Worsham now with 4. But Adams needs a huge surge here, and of course with a ball handler like Jennings, that's going to be tough to do. Couldn't hit that one, but Ulmer another putback as Adams was caught flat-footed.
That'd be a highlight film in itself for Riley tonight, just a putback basket.
Columbus can't get that one to go, and the rebound comes to Ulmer for Riley.
3 Wildcats in there battling for the rebound. 1 Adams Eagle. They're trying to get back and keep Jennings out of the transition.
Jennings handles by the midcourt stripe right in front of that always vocal Adams student section. Wesley's pull-up jumper is home. Blake Wesley with 12 tonight. That's his average. At the other end, Jeffries is fouled by Braylon Guyton.
Chuck, one of the things that you know, Jared Drake was telling his team before the game, by the way, whatever happens in that other game between Penn and Marion, should we get a share of the NIC lead and or championship, let's make sure we earned it. They're doing that here tonight.
So Adams will go to the line. Free throw sponsored by Wells Fargo Advisors. As Sidney Jeffries, a 56% free throw shooter at the stripe, misses the first.
Folks, did you know that South Bend has a youth and high school lacrosse club? Players who compete with the South Bend Bears will have the opportunity to develop good sportsmanship, character building, and a variety of life lessons that extend far beyond athletics. Learn more on their website, southbendlacrosse.com.
Also in the area tonight, late first half, St. Joe and Elkhart Memorial tied at 32. Guyton with an offensive rebound and a jump ball. Boy, that's the first held ball we've had tonight. And on the alternating possession, it'll go to Riley.
You know, it'd be nice. St. Joe's been playing maybe the best basketball, hottest team in the area last few weeks. It'd be fun to get a chance to see them. Well, what a power job that time by Ulmer. He has really made a difference.
Foster for 3 in the corner, rattles out, and the rebound to Guyton. Boy, cruising down to the other end, Wesley. And again, Adams, despite hearing before the game, got to get back on defense, wasn't quick enough getting back, and Chuck Worsham fouls out of the game.
Worsham, just a sophomore. Going to be exciting to watch him play in the next couple of years. Didn't really get a chance to get started tonight, ended up with 4 points.
So Chad Johnston taking a little bit of time here, getting his player into the game for Worsham, kind of giving his guys a chance to get a breather here.
He's looking at the official too. He said, you know, I don't have many options because of you guys. Thought the officials have done a pretty good job here tonight, keeping the pace and letting the guys play their game. But that's it for Worsham.
Fouls out with 4 points. Tavon Columbus will come in along with Quintez Columbus. And it'll be Blake Wesley at the line, taking free throws sponsored by First Source Bank.
You see Chad Johnson over there talking to his players on the bench. He's down by 20 with 5.5 to go, 5:56 to go. Doesn't mean you can't be teaching. You're teaching for the rest of tonight and the games to come. Tournament draw coming up on Sunday. Is that believable?
5 o'clock, I believe. It'll be on the internet, on the IHSA Internet Network. Here's Shaq Johnson off the glass for 2. Johnson with 21 tonight. He had 23 in their win at Washington earlier this year. But Riley in command of this one, leading 71-52. Jennings nearly undercut by Foster in the foul call.
Eastside Youth Baseball and Softball, located in South Bend, was founded to provide boys and girls ages 4 to 18 a park to play baseball and softball. They're a non-profit organization serving children of St. Joseph and Elkhart County. Sign-ups are currently going on now for the 2019 season. For more information, visit their website, eastsidebaseballsoftball.org, or like their Facebook page.
Jennings unable to score. Columbus lays it in with the right hand. Fuentes with 7. But it's a 17-point Riley lead. And 17 will be their win total after this one, should they hang on. Jennings,
nice.
Good ball movement. Wesley for three, couldn't get it to go. Tavon Columbus gets the rebound.
Very unselfish basketball, and he got a good shot.
Underneath, Sidney Jeffries with the basket, and a timeout called by Adams. It's sponsored by South Bend Eastside Baseball and Softball. 4:47 to go. Riley on top by 15 on 46. This edition of the 46 Game of the Week brought to you in part by Thor Industries. It's the world's largest RV manufacturer. Chuck Freeby, Bob Nagel, and Bo Hutt, pleased to be with you from South Bend's Hadaway Shack, where these two teams honoring the tradition of the South Bend Central Bears, a school that's been closed since 1970. But man, when you talk about South Bend Central, 15 NIC basketball championships, 29 sectionals, 15 regionals, 5 semi-states. They were 3 times a state runner-up and 2 times a state champion, and that was just basketball. They also won 3 football championships, huge swimming and diving program in the 1930s. They won 7 Indiana high school state titles in that sport in the 30s.
And they won championships in wrestling and track and field. And the decade of the 50s, South Bend Central won a state championship every year in some sport. As we know, 2 of them in basketball, 53 and 57. Did we mention Paul Harvey and what a great athlete he was?
Wesley spinning inside, but he traveled. And then you talk about the coaches. Of course, John Wooden started his coaching career at South Bend Central, and Elmer McCall with the 2 state titles in 53 and 57. Nice layup that time by Quintez Columbus. He has 9.
Chuck had a chance to interview John Wooden at a halftime of the Notre Dame men's game back in the day. And he just enjoyed, we talked for a good 10 minutes at halftime of that game, and he just loved talking about his days at South Bend Central.
Wesley misfires on a 3, nearly a steal by Foster. Instead, Wesley goes in strong for 2. Blake now with 15.
Wesley's made some nice moves inside in addition to his outside shooting prowess.
Ulmer deflects that pass away. And Adams will retain possession with 4:04 to go. Some big substitutions here for Riley as it looks like Barney and Fortune and Anderson all check back in as you take a look at Jared Drake in his first year as the Riley head coach.
There's another heads up to area teams when it comes to that tournament. Riley has gotten to be a very deep team as the season's gone along.
Columbus starting to feel it here in the 4th quarter. Quintez now with 11. But at the other end, Barney's layup is good. Dejan now with 5.
You don't see the backups for Riley looking at the coach and thinking, should I shoot it? They're out there to play.
That question hasn't been asked by anybody in uniform in this gym tonight. Jalen Jennings called for the foul, his first, and Wells Fargo Advisors sponsors the Quintez Columbus free throw.
Speaking of which, Wells Fargo advisor John Anella offers a wide range of services, including individual investments and retirement planning. If you'd like to get started with your financial planning, call John Anella. That number is 574-236-4736. John and his team at Wells Fargo Advisors are proud supporters of Adams High School and wish the team good luck in tonight's game.
Columbus, a member also of the Eagles football team, got to meet their quarterback, Ira Armstead, before the game tonight. He's taking a visit up to Eastern Michigan tomorrow. Riley up by 14. Jennings working the ball outside. Nice. Fortune, the lob inside to Dejan Barney for 2. Barney now with 7. Lynn King with strength, missed, got his own rebound, and he'll go to the line, fouled by
Frustrating night.
I'm sorry.
a frustrating night for King. He's a big, strong, strapping young man, and he's been in there battling. Suffered with some foul trouble in that first half. And I really don't think Adams at any point in the second half has overcome that deficit that was created by the foul trouble.
64% free throw shooter, taking free throws sponsored by Wells Fargo Advisors. Lynn King averages 4 points a game. That's what he has tonight. Now he has 5. 6'2" sophomore. As Bob mentioned, strong young man, kind of a raw talent, but only a sophomore. Hits them both. Adams not conceding anything, but trailing by 14. Gabe Johnson's pass knocked away. Good hustle, and it's out of bounds off Anderson. Adams will get it back.
Gurley Leap is here for you in the community and driven to give by supporting local charities across Michiana. And Gurley Leap has nearly 200 new and used vehicles, so they're certain to have the car that's right for you and your family. To find out more, visit GurleyLeap.com.
Jeffries, who had a big first half, drops it off for King, and he's traveling.
Wow. Got banged up pretty good in there.
Adams will go back to the full court pressure. We go under 3 minutes to go. Fortune finds Gabe Johnson. There's Jennings. You get the feeling when Riley says, okay, Jalen's got the ball, we're in good shape.
Everything's good, and he backed out of it, didn't force anything. No reason to do that with no shot clock in high school basketball. You have 14 with under 2.5 to go.
Fortune fouled by Lynn King. Jared Drake wants an intentional foul. He's not going to get one.
Jared is going to enjoy his warm, short bus ride back to the south side of South Bend with a win to even the season series with the South Bend John Adams Bears Eagles tonight.
Riley free throws sponsored by First Source Bank. Trevor Fortune at the line for the first time tonight. 55% free throw shooter. Trevor, a co-captain on this team, second in assists, second in steals. The 5'7" senior puts them both home. And it's a 79-63 Riley lead. Jeffries in strong to the basket. Draws the foul on Ulmer, or excuse me, on Barney.
Partner, you're right on when you said this wouldn't be a 50-49 game. The doors have been open a couple times. The barn doors were open. The horses got out and ran the floor. There was some good efforts defensively. We had some steals. We had some block shots. But, man, a lot of points on the board and a really well-contested game tonight.
Free throws for Adams, sponsored by Wells Fargo Advisors. Sidney Jeffries now with 14 points. As you see the revolving door of substitutions continuing for Riley. Jared Drake's team will wrap up the season next Friday night at John Glenn. Free throw missed. Battle for the rebound, out of bounds off Riley. And it'll be Adams basketball.
Love the effort that's going on right there by Lynn King. Again, it's been a frustrating night scoring-wise, but you haven't seen him back off at all in there with his effort.
Columbus lobs it outside. Jeffries, and he traveled.
That's a good call. Both defenders kind of trapped him, gave him nowhere to go, and he had to take an extra step.
Adams continues the full court pressure. Chad Johnston's team will play Indianapolis-Scecina tomorrow at Mishawaka in the Mishawaka Organ Donation Classic. And then they'll wrap up the season next Friday night against New Prairie. Going strong to the hole, Wesley was hoping to get the dunk, came up empty, and Columbus just threw it up there. Foster puts it in. Then now with 9. 13-point game. Fortune races the other way and scores the bucket. Fortune now with 6. Neither team with a whole lot of interest in defense right now. And a timeout called by Jared Drake and Riley. We'll take it as well. Timeout sponsored by Pfeiffer, Morgan, and Stasiak. 1:19 to go in this one. Hay seems to be in the barn for the Cats. They lead at 81-66 on 46. This edition of the TV 46 High School Basketball Game of the Week is brought to you in part by Teachers Credit Union. Grow your future. Visit tcunet.com. Riley on top of Adams, 81-66 as we wind down the final minute 19 of this one. Trevor Fortune held by Ben Foster, so he'll go to the line for more free throws, sponsored by First Source Bank.
Chuck, we should mention our sincere thanks to everybody who stepped up to help support our broadcast effort tonight. Some new names that we haven't had as sponsors, but they knew how special this game was, not only to all the fans in South Bend, but the two teams tonight made it very special. Well, we really appreciate the work of Adams principal Jim Seitz. He is the one who approached us earlier in the year and said, you know, this is going to be a big event. We really want to get this on, and he has been terrific to work with. Known Jimmy for a long time. He's doing a great job as the principal here at Adams High School. Fortune makes both free throws. He has 8. It's a 17-point Riley lead. Ben Foster now in double figures as he now has 11. And guys are padding those scoring totals here in the fourth quarter. Jennings takes it right down the lane, and Twickenham won't be that open, but he missed the layup. Jeffries the other way for 2. Sidney with 16 tonight. I think that might have been a case of Jalen Jennings thinking about jamming that one home.
And we've got a timeout called because both teams want to clear the benches and get guys into this one.
A lot of those young men now can get out on the floor, and so I played in that celebration of Central High School on a very special night here at Hadaway Shack.
Well, we would want to remind you the high school basketball doesn't stop here. We've got one more regular season game, and we'll be over at Alumni Gym next Friday night. Mark Johnson, St. Joe Indians had won 5 in a row going into Northside Gym tonight. They'll be at home against Mishawaka. Saw Ron Eklinski's team earlier in the year. They gave Washington everything they wanted on Tuesday night. It's the Cavemen and the Indians. Was a heck of a football matchup in the sectional final. We'll see what the basketball matchup is like next Friday night on your home for high school sports, TV 46.
And of course, by then we'll have an idea who the matchups are for the first round of the sectional. We'll be, again, selecting games based on trying to get to the best matchup. Sometimes we look ahead who will be alive in the second round as opposed to show them in the first round. But we're your home for the state championship tournament all the way to the finals in Indianapolis.
36.3 seconds remain in this one. Trevor Fortune on the dribble for Riley as the Cats will raise their record to 17-4. Adams to drop to 10-12. Fortune's pass knocked away. Here comes Adams the other way, and it's stolen by Fortune, and Fortune becomes the 5th Riley player in double figures tonight. He has 10.
Fortune is fortunate tonight.
Matanella's 3 off the mark. The rebound to Kyron McClatchy. He can't get it to go.
Lid on that bucket right now.
Ball knocked away, and the ball game is all over. The Riley Wildcats have beaten South Bend Adams tonight by a count of 85-70 in the 140th renewal of this basketball rivalry. When we come back, we'll have our South Bend Bears Lacrosse Club post-game show featuring our player of the game and electrifying play of the game. It's all next on the 46 Game of the Week.
Thanks for watching the WHME TV 46 High School Game of the Week. Brought to you by
the scoreboard will tell you that Riley beat Adams tonight 85-70, but the real winner, the city of South Bend, with a great tribute to South Bend Central this evening and a big crowd on hand at Hadaway Shack. Saw this one unfold. Riley picking up its 17th win of the season. Chuck Freeby and Bob Nagel high above the fray here at the Shack. And partner, it's about what we expected on the floor, but I was just so impressed with the atmosphere, the work that so many people put in to put on this tribute to South Bend Central. And I think everybody that came out to this had a very enjoyable evening.
And I think people during the course of the week really enjoyed talking about this game and talking about great memories. And Again, we mentioned Tom Noe's article in the South Bend Tribune. It was just terrific. Talked to Mike Zucchini and some of the players about their friendship and their camaraderie. It lasted a lifetime. It was a wonderful gift that they had at South Bend Central, and they carried it on in our community. But we had a great game tonight. But, you know, when you're talking to the player of the game and he's telling you he sounds like a coach down there, well, we didn't have this guy early, we didn't have the guy. There was about 4 or 5 guys for Riley today you could have nominated as player of the game. I thought Ulmer off the bench did a terrific job in the game. I thought Shaq Johnson. But the thing is, Adams had a couple of guys who played really well tonight. They needed that balance. They needed all those guys. Some of the younger guys didn't get it done tonight, but this is a very good basketball team. I think if you told Chad Johnson you're going to score 70 tonight, he thought he might have a chance to win. Riley got it going.
5 players in double figures for the Cats, but the straw that stirs the drink, the guy that makes them go, standing by now with Bo Hunt. He's our IU South Bend fulfilling the promise player of the game.
Standing by with Jalen Jennings, our player of the game. Jalen, first off, great victory tonight over Adams. You avenged the loss earlier in the season. Just talk about this victory tonight. Got everybody coming in here.
The victory, it feels great to get the win, especially after losing earlier in the season. We didn't have Gabe Johnson in our first game, and we're early in the season. Blake Wesley was coming off an injury. Everybody putting our pieces together. We had 4 days of practice week. We practiced hard, and it showed.
Talking about Gabe there, you didn't have Gabe in the first half either. He had 0 points, but I tell you what, that second half, he came out and played.
Yeah, he's a leader on the bench too, so when he's not in the game, he still makes a difference. He played well today in the second half. He got in early foul trouble, but he picked it up.
Jalen, talk about what this means to you guys coming together, these Central Bears, just talk about what this meant as a community, as a school, you know, the cheerleaders, everybody, the student body.
It's a great tradition to play in. I feel accomplished to play in this tradition, and it just feels great.
This could be a sectional matchup as well. You versus Adam. What a tough sectional. Penn's in that sectional. Well, they're playing tonight. You guys still have a chance of getting at least a share of the conference. Just talk about all that just thrown in there.
It's a big win here. This is the NIC game. The first one was an NIC game. We're hoping to Marion beats Penn so we can tie for the NIC, but the sectional's coming up. We played all that. We know what we've done bad against those teams we played, and we got to fix those in practice.
Definitely have a good chance of making a run with this team, your guys' team, not last year's team.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Back to you guys.
The 2 principals, Jim Seitz in the red, Sean Henderson in the blue from Adams and Riley. What a great job they did helping us with this broadcast tonight. But Henderson with the bragging rights tonight as Riley prevails, and they also had our electrifying play of the game. It happened at the end of the 3rd quarter, and it was another Jalen Jennings offering.
And it was one of those opportunities where you turn defense, good solid defense, and the outlet pass into offense. They see him come down this way at the end of the quarter, look like they're going to get the last score, but Jennings said, nope, not on my watch. Got it down the floor in a hurry. They're able to finish. And how many times tonight do we see Riley get a putback for a bucket? It was a big part of what they did, and that's Chad Johnson before the game said we got to box out. It didn't happen as often as he needed to tonight. And give credit to Riley, they came ready to play.
So Jaquan Ulmer with the basket as he finished off the Jennings assist. And Riley wins this one over Adams tonight to go to 17-4 on the year. And we'll wrap up the regular season at St. Joe next Friday night.
I do have to point out, I thought one of the things that was really impressive tonight, and I know Bo Hunt was bringing it up too when he came back up after his interview, we thought that for being a first-time Hall of Famer on the air, you did a great job. We're really proud of you.
Thank you, and thank you, too, for carrying me for all these years and now carrying me right on into the Hall of Fame. And I appreciate every member of our crew as well, because without them, this doesn't happen. So thank you to everyone who has played a role in this. And our thanks to you for viewing us tonight. Our thanks to our 46 crew who got the job done once again tonight. Tony Beltran, the bubbly one, manning the controls tonight. Tom Ward working the audio, and the usual cast of characters. Reminder, we've got Big Ten action on the radio for you tomorrow at 103.1 FM. Indiana takes on Minnesota at 2. That's followed by Purdue and Penn State at 4. And the next Friday night at 11 and Saturday morning at 9, more high school basketball. The St. Joe Indians entertain the Mishawaka Cavemen in the Northern Indiana Conference Clash. You'll see it on your home for high school sports, TV 46. Once again, the final tonight from the home of the Central Bears, Hadaway Shack. South Bend Riley over South Bend Adams by a count of 85-70. For the longtime Hall of Famers, Bob Nagel and Bo Hunt, Chuck Breeby, thanks for joining us and saying so long from South Bend.